one of the founders and CEO of Glide. I'll start off by telling you how this sort of came to be. A few years back in really early 2016, my brother and I were traveling to Chicago to buy a car. We'd been geeking out about the car for a long time and our minds were in that space. When we got there, we were looking for somebody to just show us around a city that's close to Motor City and should have a thriving culture around what we're interested in. But of course we procrastinated and we didn't plan ahead. We didn't really need a tour guide, we just needed a Glide. We didn't have one because that service didn't exist. So we ended up staying at our hotel and doing nothing until we had to go out the next morning and complete what we were there to do. That's how the idea started. A couple years later, and hundreds of customer interviews, we've got a team of 3 people, and we've actually started doing this. So we learned a little bit over the last couple years about what is the needs of the industry that's around touring. We kind of want to deconstruct what that really means, because what people are looking for is something that's personalized and local immersion, that's easy to shop for and experiential. And this is a $50 billion market just domestically. So right now people have a lot of work and they need to know already what they want to do if they're going to be out traveling or just exploring somewhere. Even then, they're going to get the same experience that everyone else got, and it's going to require a lot of effort to reverse engineer that inspiration they saw on Instagram to their own post that they put on their own social media. You need to plan ahead, and nothing is there to get to know the user and actually pair them up with somebody that's like-minded. So, there's no we met a local product out there. So that's what Glide is really trying to solve. One of the people called it Rent a Sherpa in a customer interview, and we really like that since it's heavily interest-based. We use profiles for both the traveler and the provider to make sure that we're learning about them and linking them up that way. There's little to no work because you know you're just going to hang out with somebody that's like-minded, and you just go and let them sort it out for you because they know the area, they know where to park and how to avoid traffic. It's ad hoc if you need it. It's much more casual than what we currently know as tourism right now. And it's going to be personalized to you and give you that local immersion. So here's how far along we are. We actually had our first trip on September 21st. We paired up somebody that's a local here with a customer. We just threw an ad out and saw if anybody would bite, and they did. Actually, I had to turn down a bunch of customers because I don't have that many providers on board just yet, which was great. But we do have a few that can provide a variety of different experiences and an activity coordinator to help onboard new ones as they come along. Over the next 6 to 8 months, we're working on funding, building an advisory board, filling the roster with interesting, safe people to be around. And we're going to learn as much as we possibly can so that when we launch the app in the spring of 2019, we'll have a full roster of interesting, awesome people to be around, and we can provide a really good service. As far as the team goes, 2 of us have experience building and deploying the legendary customer experience that you see at Apple. And that's one thing that we think is going to be really important, is the success of every trip and deploying large-scale, great experiences. So we also have somebody from Google on board that is a great resource, and he's our CTO. So that is a very brief introduction to Glide, and I'm super happy to share what we've learned so far. If you guys have any questions. First, my question, how did I do on time?
Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah.
Can you explain how it works? How does, if I were going to the app, like request a certain area, or what, how does it?
Yeah, so the prototype has